All right, and we're on. Okay, thank you guys for being here today. I know Saturdays are really busy, but it's very important that we go over some of the things, some important parts of the program, I think, face-to-face rather than just in the manual. So I'm glad you're here. My name is Katie Harlan, and I am the creator of If You Carb Cycle. This program has been going since December of 2016, and it has been a game changer for me and all of the clients who've gone through it. We're up to about 500 people who have gone through the program. Most of them go through it more than once because they love the accountability, but I really feel like I've landed on something very special. I love the sustainability of the program. I've been living this lifestyle for nearly 2 years now, or I guess a year and a half. And I always, I take a break every once in a while from it, and I always go right back to it because I miss it. It's easy to implement. It's very effective for feeling your best on the inside, and then when you feel the best on the inside, it really does come through in your outside results as well. So I'm so excited that you're here. I'm a mom of 3. I live in Central Illinois, and I'm an online health and fitness coach. I have a certificate in nutrition, and I have 5 certifications in teaching group fitness. I've been in fitness for about 5 years now. Actually, it's 6 years now. And I love helping people find their sweet spot with health and fitness, where they can be confident in implementing the strategies that make them feel the best long term. So I'm all about balance in life, lifestyle. I don't like quick fixes, and I'm not really interested in only going for fat loss or seeing the scale drop. I really am interested in helping you find complete, overall complete health. So mental health and emotional health and all of that. So that is really important to me when creating a program, and that's what I kept in mind when I was working on this one. So I'm really proud of what we've come up with, and I'm excited to teach you about it. Let's see. I think that's enough about me. I told you when I created the program, I wanted it to be simple, sustainable. I wanted it to give other benefits rather than just weight loss, because I don't really find that to be the most important thing. Like I said, when your insides are feeling good, your outside is going to show. You're going to get to that ideal body weight for your body type when you're doing the right things for the inside of your body. And then I wanted this to be lifestyle adaptive. So as we go, I'm going to give you the schedule and the routine, and you're going to be doing what we call the study of one throughout the program. And that is applying the rules to your life and seeing where you need to tweak them a little bit and adapt to your unique body, goals, lifestyle. So for example, you might find that you need fewer carbs than I prescribe, or more. You might find that the intermittent fasting only works for you 2 days a week instead of 7. So you're going to be learning all of that as we go, and I recommend sticking to the schedule that I prescribe for the 3 weeks if you can, because that'll give you a good baseline and a good understanding of how your body responds, and then you can tweak it and take it, change it and make it work for you. Okay, so we are going to start the first week with just the carb cycling. Unless you're a repeat client and you already know how to do the intermittent fasting, then if you're comfortable with that, you can add the intermittent fasting at the beginning. But for most of us, we're going to just start with the carb cycling, because the carb cycling is the hardest part about the program. It requires the most planning. It's actually really simple to implement, but it does require planning. Intermittent fasting, there's like no planning. You just do it. But I really want you to get that carb cycling down and feel confident with that before we add another layer. So this first week is just carb cycling, and I will have another training for you on intermittent fasting next weekend. So this training today isn't really going to cover that, because I want to talk mostly about the hardest part, which is the carb cycling. And you guys all I don't know if you saw this, some of you might not have seen this, but I recently got my nutrition cert, and I want to practice is a better word, giving you your own personalized calorie reports. So I'm going to be giving you guys, if you're interested, and if you're not, that's fine, but I'm going to be giving you each in week 2 your own guideline for how many calories you should be striving to eat. So if you didn't know that, hooray, it's a bonus. And that will be important as we talk about the amount of food you get. For this first week, we're not going to do numbers. We're not going to worry about how many calories in, how many calories out, all of that. We're just going to talk about eating until you're satisfied and not being too stuffed. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I really want the first week to just be feeling it out, letting your body tell you when you're full and tell you when you're hungry, instead of being worried about tracking and all of that. But in week 2, I will give you your calorie report. I'm just writing a note because I need to make sure I don't forget that. Okay, so let me go to our my program manual. And I want to talk about, let me see, where did I put it? Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I can't see you guys when I share my screen. So if you can't see something, just unmute yourself and let me know. But hopefully you can see the program manual now. So we're going to start, actually I'm going to back up a little bit. I just need to, where is it? Eating Clean, page 6. I just need to go over Eating Clean really quickly in case you're not familiar with Eating Clean. The whole program is based around this principle, and this is, you know, a lot of people are talking about clean eating, so it is this information is more available. But if you are just starting, let's just do a quick review. So Eating Clean is the idea that you're eating whole foods, minimally processed. These are the foods that are on the outside perimeter of the store, so the produce and the protein, and not the boxed, prepackaged frozen meals. So of course, you know, vegetables in a can, I mean, that's fine. You're definitely going to need some things on those middle aisles. But the rule of thumb is to check the back of the label and to look for things that have 5 or fewer ingredients. If you do that, you're doing really well. So this means that a lot of those bars, protein bars, if you check the ingredients, there are like hundreds of, well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but there are lots and lots of ingredients on some of those bars. So if you're used to eating one of those bars every day, just look at the ingredients and look for some that are better choices. And I'll be sharing lots of suggestions with you throughout the next 3 weeks too. But Eating Clean is the baseline of this. So, you know, carb cycling won't work for you at all if you're cycling, you know, Twinkie type carbs with you know, just crap bread type carbs. We're looking for clean foods most of the time. Now, keep in mind that you get a flex day once a week. A flex day is a day when you can throw the rules out the window and you just can eat what you're craving and what sounds good. You don't worry about carbs and fats and all of that, but we'll get into that as well. So you guys, if you can get free range eggs, if you can get organic meat, that's better. That's better for you because of what those animals are taking in for their fuel. That is coming back to us. So if you can, and if you don't mind spending the money, it really will benefit your health to get the, you know, spend a little more on that really good quality meat. Okay. Let's keep going and talk about what carb cycling is. So carb cycling sounds fancy, but it's very simple. It's just cycling between higher amounts of carbs on one day and lower amounts of carbs on the other day. And carb cycling does a lot of things. First, it keeps your body guessing because you're always sort of in this like what are we doing today kind of rhythm, and your body really responds well to that. This is really going to be great for those of you that are in a plateau, because there's so much variance every day that your body will keep working. This is going to help you lose fat, especially belly fat. And with the intermittent fasting, it's like the best combination for losing that belly fat. It's going to help you actually gain lean muscle because you're going to feed your workouts, and we'll talk about that as we go. You are also going to improve your insulin sensitivity with this, and the intermittent fasting is big on that too, so it's big with that. Carb cycling, there are a lot of different approaches. There are some where you only have 1 day a week with higher carbs. There are some where you are like 3 low carb days in a row and 1 high carb. We're going to do my favorite way, which is super simple. Remember, I'm going for simplicity because we want to be able to continue this long term. And if it's too complicated, you just won't continue it. Right? So we are going to do a very simple schedule, which is 1 day low carb, 1 day high carb, low carb, high carb, low carb, high carb, and you just keep cycling until you get to your flex day. And your flex day can go anywhere you want. My flex days are typically a Friday or a Saturday because those are date nights, end of the week. And for your first one, I anticipate that to be your flex day too. But if your birthday happens to fall on Wednesday, you can put your flex day on a Wednesday. After a flex day, you always go back to low carb day, and then you continue the cycle. Let's look at what to eat. So every single meal, you're going to try to get some sort of protein. Chicken, beef, fish. This says wild game. I don't eat wild game, but that's a choice for you. Eggs, nuts, seeds, lentils, tofu. Try to get some sort of protein in every single day. As women, we often are not getting enough protein, and that will be something that we'll strive for, and we'll talk numbers in week 2. For now, just try to think about getting a protein with each meal or snack. Fats. So fats are really, really great for your brain. Fats also give us a lot of energy. So on our low carb day, where you're not having carbohydrates, not very many anyway, you're going to get your energy from fats. On your low carb day, you're going to try to have a healthy fat with every single meal. Healthy fats actually help burn fat. So coconut oil, you can cook food in coconut oil. It doesn't really make your food taste like coconut, so veggies are great. Grass-fed butter is a great fat for your low carb days. I love Kerrygold butter. It is so pure and so delicious. Olive oil, nut butters, nuts, and avocados. Those are great fat options. You can also use cheese as a fat option, but cheese doesn't provide a lot of nutrition, so it's more like a flavor. I try to think of cheese as like a seasoning or a spice and add it that way, because it is delicious and it makes the food better, but it's not super good for you. Even though it has fat, it's just not one of the better fats. Another fat that I should add to this list is mayonnaise. There's a really great, Hellmann's has an olive oil mayonnaise that I really like. So think like deviled eggs are good for a low carb day, egg salad, ham salad, that kind of thing. Okay, on your high carb day, you're going to have complex carbs with every meal. Complex carbs are the good carbs, so not the cookies, not the Twinkies, not bread. Those are simple carbs. Complex carbs are really good for you. Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, rice, quinoa, oats. This says steel cut oats. It does not have to be steel cut. You can have regular oats, black beans, and fruits. So fruits are going to be kept to your high carb day during this program. And I know that's a challenge. Some of you eat fruit for all of your snacks. fruit is natural and it is good for you, but it's really, really high in sugar. So just like orange juice, even regular orange juice without anything added has a ton of sugar. So we're just going to keep those kinds of things to our high carb days when we're working out a little bit harder. Veggies, any veggies are fine on either day. And you're actually going to try to have a veggie with each meal. That's hard to do for me, but if you can do it, the more veggies you get, the fuller you are because of the fiber. It's so good for your digestive tract to get that good fiber. And it's like almost negative calories. So you naturally take in fewer calories when you're eating a lot of veggies. However, potatoes, let's keep those just to the high carb days. So otherwise though, any veggies are fine. If you've been living a low carb lifestyle like keto or the ketogenic lifestyle, you know that a lot of veggies are off limits because they are higher in carbs. I don't want you to worry about that with this program, with the exception of potatoes. So those are just really starchy and we'll keep those to our high carb days. But other veggies are totally fine for this program on either day. Okay, so let's go through the basics. On your low carb day, that's the first day of the program. We're going to start with low carb day on Monday, unless you already have a workout routine and the first day of your week is like a super intense workout. Then you can start with high carb day. But most of us will be starting with a low carb day. On low carb day, that's a high fat day. So all of your meals should have a protein, a veggie, and a healthy fat if you can. You're going to get your energy from those healthy fats because you don't have carbs. You need another energy source. Protein is not a good energy source, so you need those healthy fats. You might feel a little sluggish on your first low carb day, especially if you've been eating a lot of carbs, but bump up your high fat or your fat content, and then that will help you kind of push through. Number 2, eat when you're hungry and eat until you're satisfied. So this program is not built on being in a calorie deficit. It really isn't. You're not going to be cutting calories in this program. In fact, you'll probably at the end be eating more than you currently are. Most clients are not eating enough. So we'll discover that as we go. But for this week, I just want you to feel, am I hungry? Yes, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat until I'm full and satisfied, but I'm not stuffed. I'm not uncomfortable, and my stomach doesn't hurt. When you go to bed, you should be a teeny bit hungry. Like, I could eat something. That's a great place to go to bed. Not hungry. That's not what I want. Just like I feel satisfied, and yes, if there was food in front of me, I could eat it, but I don't need it. If you're waking up in the middle of the night hungry, you are not getting enough food. If you feel hungry during the day, after you eat, you need to eat more, okay? Healthy fat burns fat, blah, blah, blah. We talked about that. And try to keep your fruit to high carb days if you can. If you are really missing your fruit and you feel sad on your low carb days, you can have a handful of berries because they're pretty low on the glycemic index, but just try to keep the fruit to most of the fruit to your high carb days. Okay, let's talk about high carb days. So on your high carb days, you're going to have less fat. This is for a few reasons. Number 1, if you have carbs and fat together, your body gets really confused because they're both energy sources. And so when you have them together, you can go into actually an energy slump. It's like if you've ever had a donut and had that crash, it's not really because of the sugar. It's because your body is getting a lot of carbs and a lot of fat, and it just doesn't know what to do. So it's like, I don't know. So that's one reason. We don't want that foggy, sleepy feeling. The other reason is because on your high carb days, you're going to be eating more. You burn through the carbs the fastest of any of the macronutrients, carbs, protein, or fat. And because you're eating more, you're going to have more calories. But fats are naturally higher in calories. They are 9 calories per gram. carbs, and protein are only 4. So it's just helping offset the bump in calories from more food. We don't also need more fats because of that. It would just be too high. It's just not necessary. So on your high carb day, you're just going to have less fat. So on high carb day, I try not to add avocado to things. I try not to cover things with cheese. I try not to have a bunch of mayonnaise. It's not an obsessive thing. It's not like, oh, there's a little fat there. There's a little fat in that. It's not that. It's just less. You don't need the fat for fuel on your high carb day because you've got the carbs. Number 3, if you can, schedule your carbs post-workout. If you can, that'll just help put on that lean muscle and really feed those muscles. And number 4, eat when you're hungry and eat until you're satisfied. Okay, I have a couple sample meals in here. I'll let you look through those on your own. And then I just want to point out this page 15. This is from my cookbook. I've just listed the recipes that are in the cookbook that are high carb and that would be good for low carb days. The reason I wrote a cookbook is because I was sharing the same recipes over and over with clients, and it was just easier to put them in a cookbook. So the cookbook is not really a moneymaker. It's just simply for your benefit. I have it in PDF, and I have one that you can order, and they just ship it to you. So the recipes are really great. I use it every single week. We're actually writing another one. That'll be out in the next few months or so. Okay, that's an aside. All right, let's go back to, I just couldn't see you guys, so I stopped my share so I could see you for a little bit. Let's go back to the carb cycling. So we talked about this, the food list. So now let's talk about your schedule. So Monday will be low carb, Tuesday high carb, Wednesday low carb, and so on until you hit your flex day, which is probably Friday or Saturday. After your flex day, we'll go right back to a low carb day. And I'll share all of this as we go. So don't feel like you need to memorize everything now. I will train you on your flex day too, how to navigate that, because that can be a little scary when you're doing really well and you're really in the groove. It can be scary to think about just going, crazy. But I'm going to teach you how to do it. And it's actually a skill that will serve you very well if you can manage your treats, because life has treats. We're always going to have parties and celebrations and times when we really want to partake in that sort of celebration. So it's so much better to learn how to navigate that than to try to do without that, in my opinion. I want you to be able to enjoy life and not obsess about, I'm at a party and everyone's having a drink and I really want one and what do I do? And so we will work through that in this program. Okay, so let's talk about your exercise next. Some of you are already in a really great exercise routine, and this is going to just fit in really nicely with that. So on your low carb days, you are going to do lower intensity workouts, or your rest day falls on a low carb day. Yesterday was my low carb day. I took a total rest day. I did no exercise, and it was perfect. Your rest days always should fall on a low carb day because it just makes sense. On a high carb day, you're getting more calories, you're getting more fuel. So if you're not working out, it's like sort of for nothing. You know what I mean? It's like it's not working for you. On your low carb days, here are some good exercises. So a rest day, yoga, a light jog or walk, a bike ride through your neighborhood that's not super intense, just, moving your body. Upper body work, so any sort of, arm workout, that's perfect for low carb day because these are small muscles. So you're not really using a lot of, you don't need a lot of fuel for that. Anything where you're not like dripping in sweat. I want you to think low impact on low carb day. It doesn't mean you can't work out. It just means that you don't need to, you don't want your heart rate to get too high on a low carb day because you just don't have as much fuel. Okay, high carb day, that's going to be your total body workouts, your the classes that you might go to that are full body, a cycling class, a longer run, any type of more intense workout, leg day, back day, those larger muscle groups, those are workouts that you should save for high carb day, because you're going to put those carbs to work on those days. Those carbs are going to go straight toward developing your muscles. And when you have more muscle on your body, you burn more fat. It's just a perfectly oiled, well-oiled machine. If you do not currently have a good exercise routine, you're welcome to join my VIP group. My VIP group gives you access to a portal, a private portal, with your own username and password, where I have workouts for you and recipes. And the recipes are categorized by low carb, high carb, snacks, etc. So if you need a workout routine, it's just a membership program. You can join it for as little or as long as you want. Plus, we have challenges every single month, and a Facebook community group of really great people. So if you need help with workouts, I invite you to join that. Just let me know and I can send you the link for that. Okay, I wanted to talk about, we talked about carb cycling, talked about the schedule and exercise. There's one thing that I forgot, but maybe it'll come back. Okay, we'll move to the next part. In the group, I want to, and I'll introduce her in the Facebook page too, but I have a client who's been doing this program from the beginning, and she will be in the group. Her name is Faye, Phae, and Faye is awesome. Faye lives on encouraging other people, and she is so super helpful. So she will be available. She's more available than I am in the group on a day-to-day basis to answer questions. So you will see her there. So if you see somebody named Faye commenting on your posts, that's who it is. She's wonderful. She's very knowledgeable. She has a great transformation story, and you're going to love her. What you can expect from me every single day in the morning around 6 or 6:30, you will see a post for the day. That post is like your mantra for the day. It's going to be your instructions, your guidelines, your reminders for the day. It's great to read that in the morning to sort of set your day and set the tone, and just remind you what you're doing. Then I will be in the group sometime in the afternoon if there's questions that I need to answer that Faye didn't answer, or you need help from me specifically. But I'm not in the group all day every day. So I sort of pop in the morning, I pop in the afternoon, and then I pop in the evening occasionally as well. But I will be there to answer your questions, or Faye will get to your questions. So if you have a question, please post it in the group. If it's a private question, you can send me an email. But if you, if it's something that other people can benefit from, I would love for you to post it in the group. So know that we will get your question answered. If you need to email me at katie@harlancoaching.com, and I will respond to you quickly there as well. So you can expect me to be there for you for the next 3 weeks, focused on you. I'm going to help you troubleshoot. If something's just not going right, if you feel like I'm just not getting this, or I should be feeling different at this point, send me an email and I will totally help you work through that. That's what I really love doing that. I love making sure that it works for everyone, because I truly believe that it can. I'm going to be your cheerleader, and I'm going to be there for you to answer any questions you've got. So that's what you can expect from me and Faye as well. And I would love for you guys to stay positive in the group. I know there's some nights and days that are hard, but try to keep it positive so that other people are encouraged by your positivity. I talked about email. If you have a specific question, if you could use email to message me, that is much easier for me to organize. I have so many messages coming through my email that they are coming through my Facebook that it often gets lost. So if you can use email, I'll stay on top of it a little better. Stay off the scale. I want you guys to take your measurements this weekend, and you'll have homework tomorrow specifically for that. But after that, put the scale away, please, for the group. This is way more than just the scale. And yes, you will lose pounds on the scale, but the scale only weighs it weighs everything. It weighs your water and your bones and blood and all of that, it doesn't just tell you your weight. If you just want to know your body fat, you can go in and get your body fat tested at the beginning and then the end of the program. That will also tell you how much muscle you've put on. I had a client I'm going to mess up the numbers, but anyway, she gained 2 pounds of muscle in my program in the last round. If you're local to me, you can go to 5 Star Nutrition. They have a body fat scale that is free. So you can do it at the beginning and then do it at the end. You just stand on it, you hold the bars, and it measures your body fat and your muscle, and it's really a helpful tool. But stay off the regular scale for the duration of the program. We don't need to weigh every single day. That's not going to help you, and it's not going to it's just not going to show you what you need to show. We're going to take measurements with measuring tape, and we're going to take pictures as well to see results. Okay, and then I also want you guys to check in each night. So the check-in system is really important to this group. I will post it before we start, but you're going to get a point. You're going to post your points every day. So 1 point is for getting 70 ounces or more of water in each day. That's really important. 1 point is staying on plan, and 1 point is for getting your exercise. So you're not going to get all of those points every day because you need a rest day. You should have at least 1 rest day a week, if not 2 or 3, depending on your goals and your lifestyle. So you're not going to post 3s every single day. But that system of checking in is very important to making sure that you stay with the group. That accountability is key. So those are my guidelines and my hopes for you during this program. Let's take any questions that you guys have. You guys can unmute if you have questions. Anybody? You guys are good? Okay, are you excited?
Yeah. I went to high school with Faye, so Faye was the example I'm trying to follow.
Oh, good. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. I'm so lucky I got to know her. Okay, you guys. Well, I will post this video in case you need to refer to it for any reason. Make sure that you're plugged into that Facebook group and your notifications are set to tell you, if anything is posted in there, because that's where I'll be sharing information for the next 3 weeks. And I look forward to starting with you on Monday. Thanks for joining today. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.